AITA for refusing to take my girlfriend to nice places because she eats like a kid? My girlfriend is an incredibly picky eater. Like I said in my title, she eats like she is 10 years old. In fact, I'll give a short list of things she refuses to eat. Unflavored water, fish, excluding fried shrimp, anything with bones, cheese other than sharp cheddar, spinach, onions, garlic, pasta without red sauce, eggs, spicy food, aioli, ketchup, potatoes, other than French fries. Pastries with fruit, citrus, sausage or any non-American food. This compares to me, someone who grew up in multiple different regions of the US and lived in abroad for a few years, so I'm a bit more adventurous when it comes to food. Whenever me and my girlfriend go out somewhere nice, she ends up getting the same meals, usually either a burger or chicken tenders and fries. We could be going to an authentic Nepalese restaurant and she will get the French fries and white rice. To me it's kind of embarrassing to go to a restaurant where there is a dress code and for her to order chicken tenders and fries. It especially bothers me that since I typically I end up paying $15 for chicken tenders that I could get from the freezer section at Walmart for $5. Recently in our area a very nice dinner place opened up and my girlfriend has been dying to go. I took a look at the place and the menu and saw that it looked nice but the food was kind of pricey. She said she was probably gonna get chicken tenders as per usual. I asked her what's the point of going then if I can toss some tenders in the air fryer for her and not spend a ridiculous amount of money on it. She asked why I had an attitude about this and I told her that I thought it was a waste of time and money to go to a nice place to get little kid food. She interpreted this as me calling her a little kid. I clarified that I wasn't calling her a child, however it is kinda childish for her to eat the way she does. I also said that if she's gonna order food we can make at home, there's not a buy point in US going anywhere. This led to an argument about me thinking I'm better than her. AITA for telling my daughter the truth about her father? I got pregnant in college when I was 19. Her father was in the same position. Prior to doing the deed, I told him if anything were to happen I would not be getting an abortion. He said he understood. When I got pregnant, he refused any contact with my baby or responsibility. He took things further by telling my friends and his family that I planned the pregnancy to trap him, so they wouldn't judge his actions. This was untrue. He paid mandatory child support but it wasn't much. It was hard but I love my daughter and wouldn't change a thing. She's wonderful and smart and she's me whole world. He reached out to me on Facebook saying he wants Toby in his daughter's life. He's married now. I did some stalking online. His wife has frequently posted about her infertility struggle. I was against it because he's had no part of her life. It was me who had to drop out of college, work 2 jobs, endure the sleepless nights as a baby and raise her. It was me that kept her belly full and kept her warm. He didn't give a hit. It was me that endured my friends turning against me and his family's harassment. And the judgment of society. For being a young mom. And now that he wouldn't be sacrificing his young years, now he's finished partying, now he's got his degree and job, and his wife can't give him kids to complete his picket fence life. He wants the kid I raised for him? Knowing he doesn't really have to do any work other than pick her up now and then. I told him my thoughts, and he got mad saying that I chose to have the baby not him, which tipped things over for me. I asked him to prove he thought about her, e.g. a college fund he's paid into for a while with her in mind or car money. He did not, which again proved to me he only gave a hit when he couldn't make more kids. I spoke to my daughter but I told her the type of person her father is. I told her he has nothing for her, and I was honest about the fact his wife is infertile so he is reaching out. I told her everything and reiterated basically everything I said in the post. I told her to think about it. I said I'd support her knowing him, but I affirmed he is not a nice person and his intentions are not where we would want. She chose to not know him. After I informed him he got mad. He said I ruined his chance to know her, that I'm denying her a father. I told him he was the one that did that. My mother told me I shouldn't have poisoned his image to her, that she probably feels rejected all over again and she's probably hurting. I now feel like I have done wrong by her. AITA? Edit. She is 16 now. Edit 2. If it wasn't for the infertile wife, and lack of college fund or car money, showing evidence he had at least thought about her, then I probably wouldn't have said anything to her about what he is like. But to me those were red flags. EDIT 3. FAQHE never told me he didn't want kids. He didn't tell me he wouldn't stick around for the kid when I told him I wouldn't abort before anything. Despite this, I'm not mad he left. I am mad he returned for the wrong reasons which could be harmful to my daughter. I am not answering questions on how I got pregnant as this is not relevant. The amount of people I've had comment, well, were you on birth control? And lack of, well, did he wrap it up? If you're trying to find out if I poked holes or lied about taking the pill, I did not. If you're about to accuse of having unprotected X, again, I did not. Do not ask why I didn't abort my daughter or refer to her as a consequence. This is rude and you know it. My choice to have my daughter was my choice alone and not his fault, therefore not relevant. AITA for man spreading on a plane? A few months ago I, 26M, was alone on a long flight, approximately 6 hours. I had a middle seat between a young woman, 20SF, in the window seat, and a woman, 30SF, on the aisle. I'm tall and am never comfortable on planes. My knees always dig into the seat in front and it can be quite painful. I usually try to take a walk around the airport before flights to stretch my legs, but neglected to. This time, it was Spirit Airlines, so even less groomed than usual. About half an hour after takeoff, I found my left knee inching to the side for the sweet relief of open space, specifically, the no man's land in between seats, level with the shared armrest. But I wasn't paying attention to my knee the entire time. I'll concede it's possible that at some point I was occupying space that rightfully belonged to my window seat neighbor. All was well for approximately 2 hours. At this point, the woman in the window seat called over the flight attendant. She asked her something like, could you tell him to keep his ***ing leg in his own ***ing seat? With horror, I understood she was talking about me. I instantly retracted my leg in deep shame. She added something about his enormous ick. My understanding was that it was meant to be a snide reference to the idea that spreading your legs is about male genital comfort. But she wasn't speaking very clearly, and the flight attendant, 50SF, didn't seem to understand her. The FA asked her some sort of clarifying question, but she didn't answer, and eventually the attendant went away. I had been shocked into silence, but when the FA left, I frantically began to apologize. But she refused to speak to me. She acted like she didn't hear me. Instead, she started furiously texting on her phone. Yeah, texting during a flight. I thought it was weird too. Aisle seat woman said she had some extra space on her side I could use, but then promptly went to sleep. Oh well. I tried again to apologize to window seat woman, but again she ignored me. I went from embarrassed to confused. I kept replaying it in my head, wondering why she didn't simply ask me to move my knee instead of calling over the attendant. I started sneaking peeks at her phone. My defense is that I was baffled by her behavior and wanted answers. I'll admit that I was being judgmental, too. Here's why. She spent the last 3 hours of the flight watching TikToks about shaming obese people and texting someone she called Poppy. I didn't see all of it, but a significant portion was definitely about me. She wrote, men really do be too much sometimes, with a laughing emoji. She ignored me the whole rest of the flight and ignored her. I got a good but painful workout of whatever muscle it is that keeps your knees together. AITA for letting my mom rub whiskey on my baby's gums? I, 28F, am a first-time mom. My husband and I have a 6-month-old baby who is teething horribly. I was at my mother's home a few days ago and was speaking to her about the teething issues. My mom does some old-fashioned things and she's really into herbs and natural healing and such, so she wanted to try rubbing whiskey on my daughter's gums. She said shedded it to me and all 3 of my siblings. I let her. And it did seem to calm my daughter down a bit. When I got home I told my husband about this. Ando was furious. He said that's harmful to our daughter and it does not relieve any pain. He got really upset and said I shouldn't have let my mom do something like that, and told me I couldn't bring our daughter to my mother's anymore. He's since called the next 2 days off of work, and is super paranoid watching me every second with our daughter. I feel this is unfair. AITA for microwaving ice cream and putting it back in the freezer. Short and sweet. I hate waiting for ice cream, like Ben and Jerry's, to go soft enough to scoop, so I microwave it to melt it a bit, get what I want, then put it back. My husband hates it because he says you're not supposed to freeze things twice. I've never had a problem, but I did it at a dinner party and his family all looked at me like I had 2 heads. Edit. I'm not melting the ice cream to soup. It's 10 to 20 seconds to just take the edge off. Edit 2. I showed the comments to my husband. His exact response was, what? It's 1 a.m. Go to sleep. But I think general consensus is I'm ta smiley face. I'll stop doing it and try some of the suggestions. AITA for telling my cousin that she ruined a family heirloom? I, F26, have 2 cousins, F33 and F28. My oldest cousin, Jane, is married. My other cousin, Amy, just got married. I am single. Right before she got engaged last summer, our grandma gave Amy's fiancé, John, a diamond ring to propose with. This ring is a gorgeous white gold and diamond ring that our grandpa gave her. He died when our dads were teens. My grandma has since remarried and always said that she'd pass on the ring. I won't lie, I've always loved that ring and hoped it would be me, but I'm also the youngest cousin, so I tried to temper my expectations. Mostly I was happy for Amy and glad the ring was staying in the family, and Jane agreed. Fast forward to this weekend, which was Amy's wedding. Neither Jane nor I were in the wedding, but we both went to the hotel room where Amy was getting ready. She asked if we wanted to see the rings. We were both confused, but said sure. And what she showed us was a gargantuan, tacky engagement ring and wedding band set. I sputtered something like, "But I thought you were getting married with Grandma's ring." Amy just smiled and said, "Yeah, it is Grandma's ring." She explained that for her wedding gift, she asked John to upgrade the ring into this monstrosity since he didn't have to pay for an engagement ring in the first place. One of the diamonds was Grandma's, and then the white gold melted down to make one of her wedding bands, but the rest was all new stuff. I burst into tears. I was so shocked and hurt. I told her she destroyed our grandparents' heirloom. If she wanted a giant diamond to wear every day, that's her choice, but the ring was important to our family. Amy got huffy and said she had to finish getting ready, so Jane and I left. Jane was also upset but had the attitude of, "It's Amy's ring, nothing we can do now." I told her I didn't think Grandma would have given it to John and Amy if she knew she was going to take it apart. I found Grandma and asked her if she knew what Amy had on. Amy's mom had told her that Amy had to have it resized and have the setting fixed, but Grandma had no idea that it was made into an entirely new ring. She didn't say anything, but I could tell she was upset. The wedding went on, but everyone could tell that there was some awkwardness between me and Amy and Jane, and Grandma is refusing to talk about the matter. Amy is saying I owe her an apology. But I don't think I'm in the wrong for saying she destroyed a family heirloom. Plus the fact that she didn't tell anyone what she was doing and misled Grandma says to me she knew she was wrong, or at least it wouldn't have been condoned. I feel like she saw it not as an heirloom but a way to subsidize what she really wanted. I know the mature thing to do is just get over it, except that it was given to Amy and she made her choice, but I'm finding it really hard to get over what she did. Am I the asshole for feeling the way I do?